Big news hitting your radar right now as Fort Worth voters get ready to head to the polls for a massive decision. The city is asking residents to approve a $63.9 million bond to completely overhaul public safety infrastructure. This proposal directly targets a new fire station for the Kishome Trail Corridor and a critical upgrade to our Emergency Communications and Operations Center.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Next up, we are tracking a historic financial shakeup in the Texas Senate race. State Representative James Talarico has officially shattered national fundraising records by pulling in $27 million in the first quarter of 26 alone. With over $40 million raised since his launch and zero corporate PAC money in the mix, he is turning the heat way up on his opponents. Moving over to Southborough, where the town has just greenlit a massive $25 million investment for local infrastructure. Voters at the recent town meeting overwhelmingly supported a sweeping 5-year plan to repair crumbling roads and build critical new sidewalks. This is the largest borrowing bill in the town's history, and it is now headed to the upcoming ballot to secure final approval. Finally, a major win for animal welfare, as Port Arthur officially cuts the ribbon on their brand new $7 million shelter. This massive facility replaces a decades-old building and effectively triples their capacity to house and care for animals in need. It is a total game changer for the staff and the community looking to boost adoptions across the entire region. If you want to keep up with these stories and get the latest updates as they break, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Ever wonder if your city is actually ready for a crisis when the sirens start blaring? Fort Worth is facing a massive growth spurt, and with that comes a $63.9 million question on the May 2nd ballot. This is Proposition E, and it is all about beefing up public safety. If passed, this chunk of change isn't just going into a black hole. It is earmarked for a brand new fire station in the Kishome Trail Corridor and a much-needed replacement for an aging station in the Northwest. But arguably the most critical piece here is the consolidation of the city's Emergency Communications and Operations Center. Think about it. When every second counts during a flood or a large-scale emergency, having your response teams synced up under one roof isn't just smart, it is a life-saving necessity. City officials are pointing to the crystal ball, noting that by 2030, Fort Worth is set to become one of the top 10 largest cities in the entire country. You cannot handle big city problems with small-town infrastructure. This bond is really a recognition that as the population explodes, so does the risk of extreme weather and health crises. Now, keep in mind, Proposition E is part of a larger $485 million bond package, and there is plenty more on the ballot, including potential pay raises for your city council members. With early voting kicking off on April 20th, now is the time to dig into the details. I want to know what you think. Is this level of investment the right move for our future, or is the price tag too steep? Drop a comment below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to stay in the loop on your local government. After all, the best city is an informed one. Ever wondered what it takes to actually shake up the Texas political establishment? Well, hold onto your hats, because State Representative James Talarico just dropped a fundraising bombshell that is echoing all the way to Washington, D.C. In a staggering display of momentum, the Austin Democrat just hauled in $27 million in the first quarter of 2026 alone, officially smashing the record for any Senate candidate in a U.S. race during an election year. Let's put that number in perspective for a second. We are talking about $40 million in total since he entered the race last September. And here is the kicker. This isn't coming from a handful of corporate lobbyists in backrooms. His team reports over 970,000 individual donations from more than 500,000 people, with a massive 97% of those contributions coming in at $100 or less. We're talking about farmers, nurses, firefighters, and, fittingly for a former middle school teacher, a huge contingent of educators. When you compare this to other high-profile Senate hopefuls across the country, who are raising half of what Talarico just pulled in, It is clear that he has tapped into a grassroots energy that the political elite simply didn't see coming. Talarico's platform, a fierce, populist push against billionaire influence and a call to return the government to the working class. It is a message that is clearly resonating across 246 of Texas's 254 counties. Of course, critics and skeptics will point to the complexities of campaign finance and the existence of outside super PACs, but Talarico's campaign is adamant. They are doing this the hard way, one small dollar donation at a time. As we look ahead to the November 3rd general election, Talarico is already preparing for a high-stakes showdown against the eventual winner of the Republican runoff between Senator John Cornyn and Attorney General Ken Paxton. This race is shaping up to be one of the most expensive and closely watched battles in the country, and Talarico's war chest is officially ready for the fight. What do you think? Is this record-breaking fundraising a sign of a real political shift in the Lone Star State, or just the beginning of an expensive media war? Drop a comment below to let us know your take, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the twists and turns of the 2026 midterms. After all, when it comes to the future of Texas, every voice and every dollar is starting to count more than ever. Ever felt like your morning commute was less of a drive and more of a tactical navigation through a minefield of potholes? Well, Southborough is finally making a move to change that. In a historic move, town meeting just cleared a massive $25 million borrowing plan to overhaul our crumbling roads and sidewalks. But before you start celebrating smooth pavement, there is a catch. This is the biggest single borrowing bill in town history, and it isn't a done deal yet. Only 207 voters showed up on Saturday, but the room was electric. The goal is a 5-year pavement management plan, shifting the town from a worst-first strategy, where we only fix roads when they hit rock bottom, to a proactive approach. Think of it like applying sealant to your driveway to stop the damage before it starts. DPW Superintendent Bill Cundiff explained that by mixing routine maintenance with major rehabilitation, we can actually stop the bleeding and save money in the long run. But let's talk numbers. Treasurer Brian Ballantyne was the bearer of the bad news, laying out how this debt will affect your wallet through 2032. It's a reality check on the cost of progress. And progress isn't just about asphalt, it's about accessibility. Around $7 million is earmarked for sidewalks, specifically connecting neighborhoods to the Finn School, which is a major win for pedestrian safety. It wasn't all smooth sailing at the meeting, though. We had a heated debate over an amendment to keep invasive plants like Japanese knotweed out of our new roadbeds. It became a standoff between environmental concern and administrative practicality, with the proposal ultimately being voted down. However, the conversation about our town's infrastructure standards is clearly just beginning. So what's next? Even though the town gave the green light, we still have to clear the final hurdle, the May 12th ballot. Voters will decide on a debt exclusion that essentially keeps this project outside of our standard tax caps. If it fails there, the plan dies on the table. So, Southborough, the ball is in your court. Do we want to pay for a modern, functional town, or keep dodging potholes for another decade? Head to the polls on May 12th to make your voice heard, and let's get these roads fixed for good. Ever wondered what 2 decades of persistence actually looks like? Well, today in Port Arthur, it looks like a brand new $7 million animal shelter. After 40 years of relying on an outdated facility, the city has finally turned the page, officially cutting the ribbon on a space that triples their previous capacity. For the staff, this isn't just a shiny new building, it's the end of a long, cramped struggle. Anthony Mitchell, the shelter supervisor, has been advocating for this change for 20 years, and frankly, watching his colleagues work in an office where 6 people shared a tiny room while kennels overflowed with multiple animals, you can see why he's so relieved. This upgrade is a total game changer. It's not just about more square footage, it's about a complete shift in operational quality. As Darlene Thomasbier, the city's code compliance manager, put it, this place is designed to be a beacon for the community. A welcoming space where families can actually connect with animals and find those long-awaited forever homes. The scale of this project is so significant that City Manager Ronald Burton expects it to become a vital resource, potentially even helping out neighboring communities that are still stuck with limited options. It is a massive step forward for animal welfare in Texas, focusing on better care, smarter coordination, and more successful adoptions. If you are in the area, make sure to stop by and check it out for yourself. You might just find your new best friend waiting there. It's a powerful reminder that when a community decides to prioritize compassion, they can create something truly lasting. After all, a city is often judged by how it treats its most vulnerable, and today, Port Arthur clearly set the bar a whole lot higher.